Hello and welcome to another video on the channel you need to not only survive the current apocalypse but actually enjoy it. And today's video is going to be about growing a peach tree from a pit. In this video I'm going to show you a tree that I grew that was loaded with peaches. We actually acquired some of the peaches this year by getting them before the squirrels got them, and we could have actually probably gotten all of them this year. We just didn't realize that they were ripe, because the peaches I'm growing never change colors, they just stay green. In any case, we'll go out there and take a look at that peach tree right now. Alright, here is a peach that was grown from a peach pit. It's not doing too good, but it'll probably survive. It's been in the ground for about a year, and it's still hanging on to life, so there is still hope. But here's my peach pit that we originally planted maybe 5 years ago, and we didn't even really actually plant it. We just always dumped my compost pile here, and every vegetable peeling, every seed, every raked up leaf, grass clipping went in that pile. And one day I just noticed a little peach tree coming out of it, so I always made a note not to cut it down whenever I was doing any kind of yard work over here. And this is the tree. This tree had about 150 peaches on it, and I was watching them. I wasn't watching them diligently, but I'd come out about once every 4 or 5 days and look, and the peaches would be green, and so I would just leave them and hope that the squirrels didn't find them. And that was a big topic of conversation around our house, was whether or not the squirrels had found our peach tree yet. Well, the last time I checked, I skipped about 5 days before I checked again, and there were only about 20 or 30 peaches left on the tree, and they were still green. So I thought that was the time to make a decision. I had to either pick them green or just leave them on the tree for the squirrels. So I reached up to pick one, and when I did, about 10 peaches just fell off from me shaking the tree, and this peach was really soft. So I picked them all and brought them in. Here's another peach tree that I grew from a peach pit that has been in the ground for about maybe 3 years, and it's really starting to take off, and I'm also doing a little bit more care for it. I'm keeping the grass clipped around it, and I'm fertilizing it and watering it. But yeah, this is being grown from a peach pit. Okay, so these are what the peaches look like. The fact that I have such a small amount is a testimony to how good they are. My wife, who almost will never eat raw fruit, has been eating these things up like crazy, and I haven't been stopping her. In fact, I haven't eaten any because I've been eating other fruits that she won't eat. But I live in the Deep South, and they say that in the Deep South you can't grow peaches, which isn't totally true. Everybody knows that varieties such as Florida King and Florida Queen will grow here. But those two varieties, like these, grow small peaches, maybe not this small. And from what I understand, they will not put on fruit unless you spray poison on the tree. So before your trees make flowers, you have to spray poison. You don't want to poison the flowers, and you don't want to poison the bees that pollinate the flowers. So you got to spray before they put on flowers. Then after they put on fruit, you have to spray. And if you don't do that, you don't get fruit. Well, that may be just a misinformation. It may be that you spray just to keep them from getting mold. I don't know. And all of my peaches do have like a black, I don't know if it's mold or fungus, like these little things here. And our citrus trees get this too. With citrus, you don't eat the skin, so it's not a big issue for me. I'm growing mine for food, not for a profit. But these are delicious. And not only are they delicious, it's kind of cool. The reason I didn't pick these is because they were green. But even green, they're overripe, and they're just so juicy and delicious. I can't imagine being able to go to the store and buy a peach that tastes this good. I didn't do any spraying on these. And another thing I need to talk about is the fact that you're supposed to, when you plant the pits, you're supposed to put the pits in the refrigerator for I think 90 days in moist soil to trick the seed into knowing that it went through a winter. Well, I didn't do that, In fact, that might be why mine put on fruit so readily and why it doesn't seem to have the problem with the bugs or whatever, because since the pits just grew without being chilled, it made them put on flowers without being chilled. And so now I've got this right. I've got a bunch of these pits left, and I'm not sending any out, so please don't ask for any, because I am planting each and every one of them. The squirrels ate most of my peaches, but they ate them apparently right on the tree, because under the tree were just piles of peach pits. Alright, now we're going to talk about how I am preparing these peach pits to grow. This process that I'm going to talk about is called stratification. Now, I can't testify that it works or doesn't work, because every seed that I have that requires stratification, I do it. And so I don't know if you can get away without doing it. Although all the peaches that are in my yard have come up on their own, I don't know that they were not stratified by the natural processes of going through a winter or not, because I didn't keep track of all that. Wasn't even aware of the peach pit that grew into the big tree in the front being there. So it may have been there a couple of years before it sprouted. But anyways, what you're going to do, and these are the peach pits, just so you know, the little bitty peach that I had also has a very little pit, so you still get quite a bit of peach meat to eat off of these trees. And like I say, they are delicious. I don't know that you could sell them anywhere, because they're green and they're small, and people like buying what they're used to seeing. And I don't put poison on mine, so they end up getting those little black dots on them. Not a big deal. Don't taste any different than a regular peach. But anyways, that's what it looks like. And the soil that's there is just slightly moist soil to kind of mimic what the conditions would be if these seeds were to fall on the ground and get covered by leaves or something. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. And probably every time I dump my toilet, which I'll show you that. My toilet is a composting toilet, which basically means a bucket with a seed on it. And I just throw 3 seeds in there every time I dump the toilet. And I'll take it outside, dig a little hole, pour that in, put the dirt on top, and there are spots all over my yard with peaches and things growing out of them. Citrus, whatever happens to be in my toilet, that's what grows. Alright, so now that you've seen that it is possible to be successful at growing food for yourself by planting peach pits without using any kind of chemical sprays, in the deep south where these trees are not supposed to grow, hopefully you'll start sticking peach pits in the ground. It's free. If you don't want to survive, don't listen to me.